Oh yeah, baby. 1-800-449-8255, Clark the Shark Show. And I'm about to review one of the most amazing albums ever recorded in rock. Um, of course, out of the 1960s, one of the greatest albums. I still think Love Forever Changes is right there with this album. And The Who Sell Out is right there with this album. But I gotta say, Surrealistic Pillow by the Jefferson Airplane, 1967. This album is innovative, very melodic. It's even got an angry, like, alternative rock, punk rock, indie vibe. Man, it's way ahead of its time. These cool, hip cats in the picture you're seeing, these people were pioneers, man. And I'm Clark the Shark of GE. Pay attention to what I say. These other reviewers who do albums on here are just trying to make money. A lot of them, they got a big fan following or to their channel. Some of them are good, but a lot of them are just people trying to get views. I'm going to really review albums as a guy that's turning 58 years old on April 27th. A Taurus. You're getting the truth from a Taurus, baby. Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255. The Wolfman Jack on crack. And, a lot of you are like, well, Clark the Shark, why aren't you doing those political videos? Well, I'll still do those. I will. I'm still Clark the Shark. But, rock and roll music, the Greenhouse Effect, my drumming, my guitar, it comes from these amazing albums. And Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow, one of the albums I grew up on as a child, as a kid, back in the 70s, long ago, listening to these incredible albums. We had K-Earth 101 in Los Angeles, and we listened to incredible music. And, Clark the Shark, I'm open-minded to punk rock, indie, garage, psychedelia, all kinds of shit, man. Frank Zappa, The Who, the Stones, the Beatles, and but man, the Jefferson Airplane, for me, this band, these people, Marty Ballin, Grace Slick, Paul Kantner, these people go right to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This incredible album with all these incredible songs. Incredible 5-star reviews, of course. And this album starts out with She Has Funny Cars, which is such an amazing song. Oh, I love She Has Funny Cars. And Somebody to Love, classic. Oh, classic. Almost sounds angry and brooding. And My Best Friend, cool, little acoustic, Marty Ballin probably had a hell of a lot to do with that one, maybe. Today is killer. Coming Back to Me. Love it. Now, side 2, amazing. I love 3/5 of a Mile in 10 Seconds. Amazing song. And all the other songs. Of course, White Rabbit. Plastic Fantastic Lover. Killer. How Do You Feel's killer. Embryonic Journey. DCBA 25. It's all good, baby. Surrealistic Pillow. This album could have been more psychedelic and weird, but the Jefferson Airplane were trying to be serious with this acoustic Baroque pop. Kind of like Love Forever Changes, but not really, man. This album really isn't psychedelic. It's more like just killer music, man. Really innovative. It's almost like that 1966 garage scene in America. All those bands like the Standells and the Count Five and the Music Machine. And man, just all great music of 1966. To me, the Jefferson Airplane seemed to come from that garage, that angry garage. But then they bring in the beautiful Grace Slick. And it's just awesome. That first 1966 Jefferson Airplane album is really good, man. Gotta listen to it at 1-800-449-8255, The Clark the Shark Show. Everything by Jefferson Airplane was great. I love this band. Incredible group. And these people, today, these would be called conservatives. These were people against a war back in the 60s that today would probably be people voting for Trump or something. I mean, we look at the 60s and we say liberal or left wing. But Marty Ballin now, I don't know if he'd be a liberal or Grace Slick would be a liberal with today's scene. These people were cool, man. They were, and when I say cool, I don't mean cool. I mean intelligent. And to a degree, I say that about the Grateful Dead and lots of other bands from the 60s and, the late 60s. If you sat down and talked to them, today's left-wing scene with all the transgender and all that fucking shit, nah, man, in the 60s, it was different. I mean, I would have dug this shit back then. But I was only 2 years old in 1967 at 1-800-449-8255. I was born in 65, the Clark the Shark Show. But I grew up, and I know Jefferson Airplane. I grew up with them. All these amazing, incredible songs. Incredible album. I love this album. Fuck yeah, it gets 5-star reviews. Marty Ballin, Grace Slick, Paul Kantner. 3 geniuses and all these other people. It's a bummer. I think they kicked their drummer out. Skip Spence, or whatever his name was. But I wish they could have held the classic lineup of Jefferson Airplane completely together. Now, of course, this band would evolve into the horrible Jefferson Starship. In the early days of Jefferson Starship, they got some good, interesting songs. But of course, they turned into like, we built this city on rock and roll. Just this worthless shit in the 80s. But for a while, baby, at 1-800-449-8255, the Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow, back in the 60s, 1967. These incredible visionaries with an incredible album. One of my favorite albums. I love all these songs. I love acoustic, Baroque pop, acoustic music with a drummer. But this album really rocks. Somebody Love is incredible. Grace Slick was, she was incredible. She was beautiful. And she was like this mystic poet genius. Angry. A real, true, strong woman back in the 60s. I don't even care about her politics, man. I just love Grace Slick. And Paul Kantner and Marty Ballin. And, I know I failed to mention that people like Ginger Baker died or, people die. I don't want to think of them as dead, man. I want to think of them as alive forever in rock and roll. Beyond the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at 1-800-449-8255. I don't want to say, he passed away. God bless his soul. He's gone. Man, for me, Paul Kantner will live forever. This guy with the glasses, like a Buddy Holly in the psychedelic 60s, this weirdo, Paul Kantner, and he would marry Grace Slick and have a baby with her, China Kantner. I love Paul Kantner forever. I don't care if he's dead. I don't care, man, if he died. Forever he's alive to me. Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce are forever alive. Forever. They're more alive than Eric Clapton to me. And Keith Moon is alive to me. Keith Moon is more alive than Roger or Pete to me. And John Lennon will live forever with me, man. Clark the Shark. He's more alive than Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney may still be alive, but who gives a shit? For me, the Beatles, man, it was John Lennon. It wasn't Paul McCartney. Even though Paul McCartney's got a few good songs, I'll take John Lennon any day of the week. But I'll take the Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow, as one of the greatest albums ever recorded. 1967, one of the greatest years in rock. Psychedelia, amazing But this album isn't psychedelic. This album is rock